Once again to Bottom Card Booking right here on UndefinedRadio.com. Appreciate you guys and gals tuning in as we get you through a very hot July evening here in the SIP.
Very hot.
Alan, you got to get that camera situated,
Yeah,
buddy. Is that what we're doing?
We're working on it.
That's right. Well, welcome everybody. Glad to have you guys here. Got a lot to talk about tonight. Have a special guest around the, 6:15 mark tonight.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that, as Dustin 5-Starr will be on the air with us to talk about Memphis Championship Wrestling, what he's doing, how this came about. So that should be fun. It should be fun to get his thoughts on what's going on. I see you got that sweet new We Are Memphis Wrestling tee on.
Memphis Wrestling, that's it.
There you go.
Woo.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Man, that's sweet.
I got to make sure this volume is right, dude. We're having been having technical difficulties with some of this volume stuff. I've got to get me a new board in case y'all are wondering. It is going out. It has seen better days. So if the volume is off, I apologize right now. And you'll probably have to stick as close to that mic as possible tonight, buddy.
All right.
This is going to be tough. Yeah, it's going to be tough tonight. It's going to be one of the tough sledding things. I got to get this new thing going. It's rough. I hate it. I hate that.
Trial and error.
Bugs
right,
me.
Man?
Well,
With
it bugs
everything?
me. Well, because you get going, right? And then you're all of a sudden, then you have to have new equipment. Your equipment goes out. You got things running. And we got so much stuff happening on Undefined Radio right now. If you're at all interested in football is your sport.
Football, that's me.
Dude,
man.
football's great.
I'm all about
best sport
football.
going. Football's awesome. High school football is on Undefined Radio this season. We've got the Charleston Tigers. We got the North Delta Green Wave looking for more teams to sign up. And then not only are we doing that on Friday nights, but after football has aired on Undefined Radio, we have a 2-hour pre-show covering all of football throughout the state of Mississippi, the rankings, the scores, the news, everything that's going on. We'll have coaches' interviews, hopefully, players, all kinds of stuff. It's going to be fun this year for football.
So is the NIL deal that college has implemented this year, is that included in this for the high school athletes?
I don't know. I don't think it is.
No.
That's strictly a college thing, buddy.
Oh, okay. Well,
Strictly
I didn't know if Undefined Radio, was going to be a part of the
no.
NIL.
No, you're
okay.
you're just welcome for letting us put your name out there and get some more
There
coverage.
you go. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So,
That's your exposure.
that's
Bob.
your exposure right there. Then you make your money in
Yeah.
college when they allow you to
You
do
do
that.
the rest of the
So,
work. You do the rest of the work.
And go for it's what I say.
Right.
I mean, if you can do it and they're out there doing that, that's what you do. Because, I know we're talking about wrestling, but let's not get it wrong. In college, NCAA is not paying these kids. It's what they make off their brand.
Right. The sponsors.
That's
pretty
right.
much coming in and paying them to
Sure.
tweet out something for their company or put their stuff on Instagram.
Yep, so we got a lot. We'll be talking about that stuff. We got another show starting out. We're changing the name of the Big Uglies to the Undefined Blitz is coming.
Okay, so not the Big Pretties.
Mm-mm. It seems the Big Uglies is already taken. It's like, man, I want something different, so we're sticking with the Undefined theme. So we're going to go Undefined Blitz. But that show starts up next week. Of course, first football game is this weekend, Dallas Steelers Hall of Fame game, where you're seeing all the 5th and 6th stringers try to vie for those final spots. If you're into that spectacle and things like that, we're football guys, so we do.
Man, it will be in August.
It
next
is,
week
dude.
when we're on the show, won't it?
Well, it's the last week of July, man.
Yeah.
It's the last week of July, so it's here.
Man.
I mean, the summer finally kicked in. We've been waiting out to get hot. I was just talking about the other day, and it's hot now.
I hadn't been waiting on it to get hot. I knew it was hot.
Dude, no, it hadn't been hot.
It's
This
bad.
is now hot.
It's hot and humid and just
These last 3 days
dreadful.
have been brutal. Tupelo Comic-Con was yesterday.
It was Saturday. Well, yeah.
Was it yesterday too?
They
It was
had
all
a-
weekend,
Yeah,
right?
it was,
Then
it
the
was
wrestling.
Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, the wrestling was Saturday night.
That's right.
Out there, VIP Championship
God dang,
Wrestling.
what day is it? Monday.
Yeah, I think so.
Finally.
Yeah.
So and it looks like they had a really big turnout.
It was. I was there in the crowd, and there's probably 200 to 250, maybe more, probably more. Yeah, I'm not
It looked
I'm not
like
good
it was
at
a
looking
massive
at
crowd.
I'm not good at looking at the crowd and being
They
able
always
to
have
tell
a big
the
crowd
numbers, but
out there though.
yeah, it's pretty good
So-
show. Pretty good show.
Yeah, they do it right down there. I mean, they had Billy Gunn was there.
Billy Gunn was there.
Right.
Yeah.
Big draw. Dustin 5-Star guy
Yeah,
who's going to be
Dustin
on.
5-Star
he was there.
had a little encounter with Precious.
That's what I heard about that.
So yeah, man, It was looking rough.
Heard it was the most entertaining match of the night, actually. And that's not saying that because Dustin's going to be on the show. I was told that before I actually knew he was going to be here.
Oh yeah.
So that's interesting.
Word got around, huh?
Well, again, it's about knowing your audience and knowing how to play to your audience
Right.
and knowing exactly what you're supposed to give the audience, and there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, so it says everything right there.
Yeah.
I think you know what, Kelly. I think Ping does need a hairstyle like mine. It'd be great for calling Charleston Tiger football. Ping pong needs a hairdo like mine for sure. But yeah, so I mean, I heard the show was good.
Yeah.
Pretty, like I said, nice crowd. So interesting that Comic-Con always, like I said, Tupelo Comic-Con, they usually do it right down there. The guys who put on that show usually do a really good job of it. So.
Yeah. It was fun to sit back and watch and just not have any responsibility.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't happen often anymore. But yeah, to just be able to sit back and watch some of these guys and girls that I get a chance to work with, and just sit back as a fan and watch their wrestling and watch their matches, and just be able to enjoy it again, from a fan perspective was a good time for me. I really enjoyed it, and made for it was a long night, but it was fine. It was fun. A lot of fun.
So if you were able to be there, drop us a comment. What'd you guys think of the show if you were down at Tupelo Comic-Con and saw Championship Wrestling down there? Because I mean, they, like I said, they do a good job. Man, there's a lot of news that's happened over the past week.
So much
over the past few days. Lots of rumors floating around.
Yeah,
lots of rumors floating
rumors
around.
that have not been made official by the ones that it really matters if it's made official by. But,
that's right.
From all the dirt sheets and other stuff like that, a lot of news dropping last week, and some things that I don't know if we've talked about it on the show, but I know that I've tweeted about it before, and just saying how big. Well, we did talk about it because we were talking about what would have to happen to change the landscape of professional wrestling, and two of these names that have been mentioned in these rumors, and they were included in that. So, I mean, one for sure. If it happens, the landscape could definitely change. The other one is nothing to bat an eye at.
Well, neither one.
So,
I mean,
right.
If Daniel Bryan goes to AEW and it's really signed, and they're saying he's going to premiere in September, which is not that far away.
No.
If that's the case, that is huge. It'll be of course under the name Bryan Danielson, but still,
Mm-hmm.
that's big time.
Yeah,
that's big time.
It definitely is.
And if CM Punk goes, if that actually happens, I mean, that is a monumental shift. And people can say that it's not, but it is because of the popularity factor alone.
Exactly.
I mean, that's really what you're looking at. I mean, people will tune in to watch those guys, even if they don't want to tune in and watch anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to help the AEW product.
Because how long has CM Punk been out of wrestling? What, 2014, 2013, something like that? And he's still as relevant now as he was then. Yeah. I mean, he's kept, even through his UFC run, that did not work out well at all in his favor. No. But, I mean, even through all that, like, his fan base is still really intact. And, I mean, if he debuts, if CM Punk has signed with AEW and he debuts at All Out in Chicago on, I think it's September 5th, the roof is going to come off the building. Then the internet's going to be broken, and I mean, we're going to see reactions that we have not seen in a long time. And me personally, I want it to happen because I want to see it and I want to experience it. And
I would love to see it.
The stories and the matches that could come out of having Daniel Bryan and CM Punk at AEW, with some of those guys, like Jungle Boy and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Could be a great match.
You know what's funny? I forget all the time that is Luke Perry's son.
Yeah.
Just forget. I forget that Jungle Boy is Luke Perry's son.
Well, if you watch AEW, Jim Ross calls him Jungle Boy Jack Perry all the time.
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Tells you I don't watch AEW. I watch the highlights, and that's about it. I don't watch a whole lot of it. But I'll tell you what, Bryan Danielson goes, CM Punk goes, I will watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I will watch it for nothing else. And I'll watch it to see what it does for the rest of the locker room, because that changes the landscape of AEW completely. It just does. Because now, all these other guys who are supposed to be doing revolutionary things, now you're seeing two guys who are legit going to bring a different vibe and a different feel to AEW overnight.
Guys that legit paved their own way in WWE and started their own movements.
That's right.
From scratch. With Daniel Bryan with the Yes movement, CM Punk with, doing everything CM Punk did.
Sure.
You know.
And the big question coming out of that will be, how long will the fans get to that? How long before the novelty wears off, or will it?
And
will it enhance the other guys enough to say, because the schedules are going to be easier.
Yeah.
Far easier.
Brian, it's already been reported
they're
on.
Gonna do
what it's already been reported on what Bryan, what his stipulations were, and which is all speculation, right? Until AEW confirms and organizes it, whichever one. But Daniel Bryan wants to be able to work in New Japan or in Japan.
Sure.
I guess
why not?
Maybe not specifically for New Japan, probably New Japan, but also any other promotions that they got in Japan. Like, he wants a lighter schedule. And they're
all of that.
And they're willing to give him whatever he wants,
because that's where your revenue's coming in
exactly.
Anyway.
Exactly.
You don't have to be running your talent to death out here on these house shows.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you would like to have some good house shows, and I think you still will, but you don't have to have it with that revenue. You need eyes on your product and selling merch.
And these signings could come at a really good time for AEW with their AEW Rampage show that's supposed to be on, I think it's TBS, starting in August, I believe is when it's starting. So, all these guys that are not getting the TV time on Dynamite or on Dark or on Elevation there's another show. AEW is going to have 4 shows by this time if these signings happen. So, there's going to be tons of time for these talents, and AEW has a crap ton of talent.
Well, you got Malachi Black or whatever they're going to call him.
Yeah, he's got a big match. His first match in AEW against Cody Rhodes.
Right.
I don't think it's this week coming up. I think it's next week.
And now, you don't think that he's not going to be utilized, and you put him in the mix with some of those other dudes too? Oh Lord, it's gonna get wild over there. Tracy says AEW equals all ex-WWE, and I'm okay with that. Seriously. There's talent that we've been hoping would be used.
Yeah, exactly.
And now we get to see it.
That's the direction I was going in.
And I'm excited about it.
It's guys that WWE, some of them did get used, but it was due to them doing their own thing and figuring stuff out for themselves and forcing WWE to have to use them the way that they got used. And then, it is other guys that couldn't find the screen as much as they probably should have. But, AEW, we've got our issues with them as far as kind of how they run things.
Production company, especially the production side of it, they've got growing pains with, and a few of the other things. But these signings will help that
for sure.
If you're talking about things transition to get you past the hump while you're working on this other stuff, bring in top stars like that.
And you want your ratings to go up?
That's how you do it.
Your ratings are going to go up with Bryan Danielson and with CM Punk.
Because that's going to make you a legit company right there. As far as in the fans' eyes, it's different when you're talking about indie wrestling and wrestling out here in these smaller areas and stuff. But when you're on a national and worldwide stage, you're gonna and you're saying that your product's as good as WWE, then you kind of have to put that out there.
Yeah.
And when you're known for botching a lot of stuff, and the reason they say that is because there's so much high flying and dangerous stuff going on in AEW. It's not that these guys can't work. It's just that they take a lot more risk than what you will see in a WWE match.
Yeah, they're trying so much and just crazy
to pop the crowd and create spots and stuff. So, and I get that, but when your reputation becomes that, and you want to legitimize yourself, these are some of the things you're kind of going to have to do, and it's not going to hurt anybody for those two guys to come walking through that door.
Not a bit.
I would dare say it's going to help everybody. Even not just the lower card guys, but those top card guys.
Yeah,
it's going to help them all.
And did you see the report of WWE's kind of response to these rumors?
No, I didn't.
There was a report talking about WWE reached back out to Braun Strowman to bring him back. So, but that's probably more of a
Braun Strowman shirt.
Have they?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had a new Braun Strowman shirt on their on the shop.
So see, now they're going back and they're like, oh, we probably shouldn't have let him go because he might end up jumping.
The only reason they let him go was contract issues,
right?
The money,
yeah,
and stuff. And I'm sure they're bringing him back. It's under a different kind of contract. That's the only way. He's not coming back under the same deal. No. They let him go just for money issues.
Yeah,
it wasn't because they didn't like the dude or that he can't work. Because for a big man, that dude can go.
Yeah. He's
straight
one of the best.
And move.
Maybe the best big man.
Yeah, so it's not that at all with Braun Strowman. His is simply money. Mm-hmm. And in the COVID era, when everybody's suffering and trying to cut corners, and you still, they're just now opening back up. SmackDown was rocking Friday night.
In Cleveland.
Oh my goodness,
Cleveland, Ohio.
There you go. Which I don't care for Cleveland. Let's just be honest. I don't.
The Cleveland Guardians.
Oh my
now.
Lord, dude! I was just
they're
thinking
not
about
the
that
Indians.
too.
They're the Cleveland Guardians.
The Cleveland Guardians.
If the Atlanta Braves ever change their name because of some PC crap, I'm going to be ticked. I mean, it's not going to make a difference.
You might as well get ready.
Yeah, it's not going to make a difference because they're going to do what they have to do to keep making money. They're
going to figure out a reason to say, well, being brave is offensive.
Yeah, well, you're an idiot.
It's toxic masculinity out there, and it's making fun of the red man. What? Because they were brave in battle? Using sticks to fight guns?
Yeah.
I can see
Bringing
how it's
a knife
awful
to a gunfight?
Yeah, I mean, come on. But, that's the world we live in, man. And I'm afraid that's what you're going to see. Any of these teams, Native Americans, they're all going to get changed like that. And where does that leave the Native American people? Once more, wiped off the face of the earth. And it's your woke people who done it.
Yep.
So just get ready for it.
Yep.
Can't stand that crap. Oh, my Lord, dude.
Makes me mad.
Makes me mad, too.
Upsets me.
So
when is Florida State going to change their name? When are they not going to be the Seminoles anymore?
Well, Seminoles is okay now.
Oh, is it okay now?
It's not offensive.
Oh.
It's not offensive, so there you go. I mean, we need to see more offensive wrestling names. Is there any out there still? I don't even know anymore, to be honest with you. I don't. Yeah. I watched Smokey and the Bandit last night. Talking about throwing it back. The stuff that Sheriff Buford T. Justice was saying, I was like, dang, none of this can fly anymore. And none of this can fly anymore, so... Because we were talking, a buddy of mine we were talking about championship wrestling this weekend, right? And offending people. Mm. And then some people getting offended over certain things and all this other stuff and how you can't, he was told one time that you can't signal people out in wrestling as a heel. You have to signal out the crowd. You can't single out individuals. I'm like, BS on that. Someone's giving me lip, buddy, and it's on for you.
Yep.
For the person doing it. Why? Because that's how you generate heat.
Right.
And that's just how it is. And so, but it's funny when someone tells you that, and then all of a sudden they're out there doing the same thing, right?
Yeah, it's like pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, come on. In wrestling, you get your heat where you can get your heat.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to. You got to get your heat where you can get your heat at. That doesn't mean you got to cuss somebody or do anything vulgar or anything like that, but if you can work, you can get your heat. It doesn't matter if it's the whole crowd or it's an individual. Somebody's yelling at me and going crazy and making themselves the spotlight of the show in the audience. Mm-hmm. It's time for you.
Yeah.
Let's see just how.
I've seen you turn it a couple times.
Yeah, you can do it. But that's what I'm saying. But you can get heat. You should get heat like that and be able to go out and do it. But, dude, I don't know. They were telling me about that for this weekend show. I was like, I think that's funny. I think that's funny. It's an art that's been kind of lost.
It's the couple times that I've been able to kind of play that heel role. It's fun getting creative and generating some heat. Well, and I didn't think it would be that fun, but it's fun, man. I enjoyed it.
Well, generating heat is there's an art form to it.
Yeah,
you've got to be willing to say, okay, this is what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You're ready. Buckle up, because it's about to get serious. But again, doesn't mean you have to be vulgar. Certainly doesn't mean you got to cuss the fans out, because if that's the only way you can get heat, then you can't get heat.
Yeah,
you're just being an a-hole at that point, right? You're being a douchebag, and you don't know what you're doing. If that offends you out there, you have to be offended.
Yeah,
that's just the truth. Somebody needs to tell you.
Like the MJF heat, that's extreme heat.
Yeah,
that's high heat. Like,
but that's
up inside, like on the end of the bat, like on the hands. That's high heat. But I mean, he's good at what he does.
But it's how you get the heat.
Yeah.
All right, it's your attitude. It's your how you carry yourself. It's a lot of that stuff. It's more than just saying words.
Right. I mean, you look at Matt Cardona, FKA Zack Ryder, going into GCW and beating Nick Gage for the GCW Heavyweight Championship Saturday night.
Yeah.
And the heat that he generated whenever he first came into GCW was extreme. And he said he called him the GCW Universe, and kind of as a little shot at WWE Universe. Yeah. And those fans hate him, his guts.
And that's great.
And that's good, man.
That's how you do it.
That's good.
Makes yourself relevant.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have to take our first break of the night. We come back. Lots more to go as we wait in anticipation for our guest. Like I said, Dustin, we should be on around 6:15. We'll talk to Dustin and hopefully get his thoughts on championship wrestling, how it came about, all of that good stuff. Can't wait to talk to him. Should be interesting. Should be a lot of fun. So stick around. We'll be back in just a moment. Looking for new ink, tattoo makeover, or cover-up? Trippy Tats is the tattoo artist for you. Nate can bring your tat ideas to life in amazing detail. Whether simple or complex, whether you're a first-timer or you've had multiple tattoos, hit up Trippy Tats on Instagram and schedule your session today.
This is Ariana, and you're listening to Undefined Radio.
Yard Emotion Lawn Rental. Serving North Mississippi and select areas, our yard rentals enhance your event with bold, beautiful displays built around your needs. From birthdays to graduations, birth announcements to retirements, and so much more, let Yard Emotion Lawn Rentals bring your lawn to life. Visit our website at yardemotion.com or call us at 662-426-1000. Yard Emotion Lawn Rental. A yard celebration without the frustration because we do all the work.
When you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're
Hi, folks. Ricky's Wonderful Batesville Tire and Muffler on the corner of Highway 6 and Eureka Street. Oh, yeah, when you're hot, but if her car is hot, you are fixing to have a heated relationship, son. No need and all that. Bring your hot car to Batesville Tire and Muffler, and we'll cool that alien air conditioner down for you, partner. Batesville Tire and Muffler, Highway 6 and Eureka Street. We've been saving marriages every summer since 1975.
Cafe Olé on Highway 6 in Batesville. An atmosphere that makes it easy to relax, eat, and enjoy yourself. Come in anytime for the best in authentic Mexican food or a steak, grilled shrimp, a burger, or club sandwich. Stop in on Sunday for the lunch buffet, including delicious hot wings and a cheese dip. Cafe Olé, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. The bar is fully stocked and ready. Cafe Olé, Highway 6 in Batesville, just a happy place to be.
Johnny Pace in the morning, every weekday from 6 till 8 a.m. on Undefined Radio.
And welcome back to Bottom Card Booking right here on UndefinedRadio.com. Appreciate you guys and gals tuning in. Remember, Johnny Pace is live in the mornings, every morning, Monday through Friday, from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. right here on UndefinedRadio.com, breaking all your local news, weather, updates, great music. Look, on Undefined Radio, we don't play just one genre of music. We're country, we're rock, we're rap, we're all kinds of stuff. Blues, jazz, we all over the place. You never know what you're going to hear, and it's awesome.
So if I drop a single, because you saw the video last week, didn't you? That surfaced.
You're rapping? Is
Yeah,
that
man.
what you're lip sync rapping?
Yeah. Let me
Is
drop a
that it?
single. Will you
I
play
want to
that
hear
on-
real
on-
rap.
Huh?
I want to hear you rap for real, though. I don't want to see the...
Well, you got a present or something you want me to rap?
No. Let's go. Come on. Let's do it right now.
See, it doesn't work off the top of my head, man.
Sure.
No freestyling.
All
no freestyle.
great rappers.
I'm
all
not
true
good at the
rappers that
freestyle.
way. I think you can freestyle.
I stick to people writing my lyrics for me, and then I transform them. So
Why not?
that's how it works.
I don't know if you're a lyrical poet or not.
I'm not. Somebody else is, and I just steal it.
I want to hear some of it. Let's go.
It's not gonna happen.
We'll go ahead and
There's
rap
nothing
somebody
here.
else's then.
There's
You don't have to
nothing here.
freestyle your own, then rap somebody else's. Let's go.
I can't do it, Chad.
Huh?
This is a wrestling show.
Come
We're
on,
here
you're
to talk
white.
Wrestling. I know I'm white.
Capitalizing.
I'm white chocolate. That was the name that I bestowed on myself.
White
Whenever
chocolate.
when I was working at FedEx, I told all the people that worked on my slide beside me, I told them, I was like, y'all know that I go down to Bill Street on the weekends and I rap on the sidewalk and people give me money for it. And they were like, what? And I said, yeah. And they were like, what's your name? And I was like, I'm White Chocolate. And they started dying laughing.
You didn't spit any bars, did you?
I didn't. No, I didn't. I
Dude,
just
you
I
gotta
put
have
my
some
headphones
bars
back
ready
in and
to
I was
go.
listening to my own music.
What are you gonna do if they called you out on it? Spit us some bars.
I would do the same thing that I'm doing to you right now.
What's that?
Denying your request.
Well, you're the one
I got to
that
get
just
paid
said-
for it.
You
I got to get paid for it. Yeah,
No, we have to
I
have
got to get
samples
paid
for that.
for any entertainment value that I do. I get.
We
paid
ain't
for it.
Hollywood. We ain't taking your word that you're talented. You got to prove it.
Well,
You got to prove it. So you drop an original. I'll play it on there.
okay.
We definitely.
Okay.
But we have some cool new songs this weekend. I mean, they're older songs, but on the local Yoko show on Saturdays, I heard them. They played them. I was like, oh my God, that's going in the playlist.
Huh.
So if you guys know some artists, some indie artists out there, or whatever, got some tracks or dropping out some new music or whatever, hit us up. Send us an email, radio@undefineradio.com. Hey, we'll get your buddies on the air.
Cool.
Don't mind. Or if it's you, let us know. I love independent artists and the talent that's out there. And it's hard to get radio time anyway, so I'm all about that life. Let's do it.
Especially if you're
Let's do it.
in Memphis, because the radio stations in Memphis play the same song every 20 minutes.
All they do.
And it's like, oh my God, man, I've already heard this 3 times today, and it's only 1 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. I was having trouble sleeping the other night. It popped on Undefined Radio. I was like, popped up the app, free Undefined Radio app, by the way. Dude, I heard so many different genres in the span of 20 minutes. I'm like, man, I love my radio station. Because music, I even forgot I loaded up there, and Johnny loaded some music up there, and I didn't realize he had loaded on there either. And it's like, man, this is all good.
Heck yeah.
This is not good listening music right here. I want to get up and have a drink just because of that. I'm like, I feel good right now.
Margaritaville.
Dude, I'll tell you, give me one. Give me one. Speaking of Margaritaville, be sure, guys, it's hot out there. You've got to stay hydrated. Please do that.
Yeah, you got the water
It's
right
rough. Be careful.
Look at
Be
that.
careful out there. Redeem Wrestling has a show.
August 7th.
August 7th, man. At Wyatt Baptist Family Life Center is going to be fun.
Coming up so quick. I didn't realize
It
that
is.
it was next week.
That's right.
Until earlier today, and I was like, holy crap, man.
Yeah, you know what? It's going to be awesome. We have a special surprise for that show, too. I'm excited about.
All
Gonna
kinds
be
of
fun.
surprises.
I haven't seen this guy in a long time. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun show, I think. It's going to be a fun show.
I'm interested. I'm into it.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We're going to have, I think the host show, the show is usually Redeem always puts on a good show, though. So we're going to have a good time with that. That's August 7th, Wyatt Baptist Family Life Center. That is in Wyatt, Mississippi. Bell time is at 7 o'clock. Doors open at 6. So you're going to have a good time. If you've never been to a Redeem show, you should come out.
Yeah. And if you haven't been to one yet, what are you doing?
That's right.
That's,
We've got
that's the
Crowley.
question.
We've got Reels. This ought to be fun.
Yeah. Got the Brotherhood.
Yeah, Brotherhood will be out there. One of us will be.
I'll put them on. I'll put them
Love it.
on. We've got DDT.
One of us will be. DDT will be out there. So, yeah, you got Deacon Pierce, Abel Booker. I mean, Ken Dang's going to be out
The
there.
Storm.
Yeah, the Wrecking
Adonis
Crew.
and
I mean, dude, there's a
Night
lot.
Train.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a lot.
A lot of talent out there. Who knows what's going to happen? The fans never know. They have never a clue about what's coming up next, which I think adds to a lot of why people keep tuning in and coming out and supporting Redeemed. And there's a lot of great wrestling out there you can support, by the way.
Yeah.
APW, we're talking about Memphis Championship Wrestling. I mean, and there's just a lot of wrestling out there that you can support. It's all around the area. Some of the guys that have worked for us are really branching out and making a name for themselves. Geo Savage, one of those guys.
Geo Savage is everywhere.
He is getting booked all over the place.
Good for him, man.
It's great
Good
to
for
see.
him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
And that just shows what you can do when you put your mind to it and your heart to it and keep your head on right and just go for it.
Yeah.
And Gio's one of those dudes that he has done just that. He's one of the guys I hope to see on Memphis Wrestling sometime.
Yeah.
He should be. I mean, he's one of those dudes that the crowd loves.
Yeah. I
Just-
think
they
he
just
would
love
be
the
good.
guy.
That's a little above my pay grade, but yeah, I
But
think
yeah,
he
and
would be good.
that's kind of the hardest thing too about you're talking about booking a show like Memphis Championship Wrestling, because man, it's different when you're booking just a show that only the live audience is seeing, where it's not broadcast out
Right.
to everybody.
Over a large
It's on
platform
TV,
like YouTube
I mean,
and
yeah, dude,
television, you know.
it's different.
Yeah.
It's different because now you really have to tighten your booking up, and then you have to make those decisions on who stays and who goes because, you know, maybe you like this guy and he's really good out, you know, at these house shows and things like that, but on TV, maybe not so much. And it's a different look on TV, and maybe it's all different. I mean, man, I don't envy the bookers.
It's a different
doing that.
animal. It's definitely a different animal for
It
sure.
is. I mean, it's
even from just my perspective, it's definitely a different animal than just a house show.
Sure.
You know.
Well, like I said, it gets tough when that's what you're trying to do, and you're trying to say, okay, I'm going to book this show and this is how we're going to do it, and it ain't working, then all of a sudden, oh, crap. Well, that didn't go. Is it the booking? Is it the talent behind that booking? I mean, is it what we're trying to do? What is it? And now there's no redos.
Yeah.
There's no, well, only the crowd saw it. It's not a big deal. Everybody's seeing it. And,
Right.
of course, the judgy mentality we're in these days with society, everybody's always looking for a reason to tear you down a little bit. And, we see that. And I wish Championship Wrestling nothing but the best of luck. I mean, more good wrestling is best for everybody.
Yeah.
Places to go. And we've talked about this many times about how all the infighting is so stupid. The ignorance of it is beyond me. Why would you not want another company to succeed? I mean, to me, that's dumb. There's plenty of good wrestling to go around for most of these companies. I mean, there's a few that's like, you're like, how are you still existing? Because that's dumb. You see that. But then there's a lot of these guys out there who are trying their best, and that's all you really ask for.
Yeah.
Try to put on the best show you can. Do it for the fans, and are you putting on shows for the fans, or are you putting them on for yourself?
Right. And I mean,
Because there's a difference.
One that's a prime example is CCW, Cape Championship Wrestling in
Yes.
Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
That's right.
Big show this weekend. Unfortunate news that was
I
let out,
know.
I think, late last night that
Yeah.
Scott Hall isn't going to be able to make it. But
That sucks too.
yeah, it does. But they are working on bringing in somebody else. I don't know who, but regardless whether Scott Hall is there or not, it's still going to be a awesome show and a packed show, to say the least. You still have Jake something that is going to be there. And let me see. Let me bring up my phone so I can look at these matches and give y'all some of these matches. The Crowleys against the Besties in the world. Tag match is going to be awesome. You have KLD against Jake something. Aaron Roberts against Josh Alexander, who's on Impact Wrestling. So, and then Brandon Barbwire against Warhorse in a street fight for the CCW Heavyweight Championship. And Lil Bit versus Blair Onyx for the CCW Women's Championship. So, big show Saturday night in Cape Girardeau, Missouri for CCW.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for it. I'll be there. And I think tickets may be sold out right now. There may be some general admission tickets
and I
still
think that's
available,
awesome.
but
we talked to
it's
him the
almost
other
sold
night,
out.
a few weeks ago, which
Yeah.
was a really interesting conversation. And again, so much good wrestling out
And
there.
a guy that's from this area, that started in this area,
Yeah.
Jason Wells is who's running it now, and who started it. And so, man, hats off to Jason for what he's been able to do with CCW. But like you were saying, there's plenty of wrestling to go around. There's no reason for everybody's panties to get in a wad over
Lord,
just
do they.
stupid stuff.
But they do.
But they do. They
They
do.
do.
And quick and in a hurry. And
So sad.
But like you were saying, man, all these companies that we've got going on, EPW in Boonville has been running weekly for how long?
Oh my God, 84 years or something like
For
that.
a long time.
No,
Neil
it's been
Taylor
forever.
with EPW in Boonville has been running for a long time.
Yeah, I think Neil's done a great job over there with that group.
And
And
he's
they've
in
really upped their game over there at EPW. So
he's in the back at Memphis Wrestling.
Really?
So, yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good.
So I mean, you got a lot of good heads up there.
Well, and you have to have
helping
it.
out.
You have to have that, or if you don't, then you're done for.
Yeah.
It's really tough. Like I said, and Neil's a production guy, really. I mean, that's kind of what he does, behind the scenes and stuff. I mean, in the shoot, and so he understands a lot of that because you have to. I mean, TV's hard.
Yeah.
Because you have to know your ins and your outs and your cuts and your breaks and all the timing on all of that stuff matters.
He's in my ear.
Oh yeah.
Whenever we're doing TV tapings, he is in my ear.
Yeah,
The entire match, pretty much. So
and that goes for the talent too, because working TV is so much different than just going to a show and just saying, all right, you got 15 minutes, here you go.
yeah, figure it
And
out.
then you can decide to cut it off or take it longer. With TV, you don't have that luxury.
Nope, you've got time
You
slots.
do what you're told.
There are time slots.
That's right.
It's everything's on a timer.
And that's when your conditioning gets kind of in question too, because say you're given 8 to 10 on TV, and they're saying, "Hey, I need a hard-hitting, fast-paced match. You got to go." And 2 minutes in, you're blowed up.
Mm-hmm.
And wait a second.
Yep.
Oh,
Not good
crap.
pacing, brother.
Yeah.
Not
It's
good
like,
pacing.
no, dude. No, this. Mercy. That's why it's for the young these days.
For the young goats.
For the young.
The
dude.
young goats.
It's all for the young.
Aaron Roberts and Zay Washington. They're
Yeah, there you
they're
go.
another
They're good.
young upstart team, man. They are really good. They've
Yeah.
been out to Hollywood and done the championship wrestling from Hollywood deal. And they're, like we were talking with Gio Savage earlier, they're getting booked everywhere. They're a tag team to really keep an eye on going forward.
Yeah, and they should be. I mean, I love that too. I love that these guys are going out there and taking it into their own hands and getting themselves over and booked and putting in the time to be better. You have to.
Yeah.
You know, you got a lot of guys. Why can't I get booked anywhere? Are you trying? Are you trying to be better?
Right.
I mean, what are you doing?
You putting yourself out there?
Yeah, because
Or are you
you've
just
got to.
planning on things working out with you not doing
Well,
anything?
that's the thing too. Some guys will sit back and go, "Well, I'm a wrestler." Okay.
Okay, yeah. What
All
are
right,
you?
all right, we get it. You're a legend in your own mind. Now what?
What's your deal?
But
What
in
are
nobody
you?
else's
Who
mind,
are
don't
you?
even
What are you
exist.
doing?
Well,
Like,
exactly. And so
promote yourself is what
you've
we're
got
saying.
to promote yourself.
Promote yourself. Don't wait for somebody else to do it for
And
you.
you can't rest on your laurels, dude. You got to go. I mean, that stuff matters.
Yeah.
There's a difference between people who just want to stay just shooting on an indie show here and there, and that's it. Between guys who are actually trying to make it. And you have places that'll hire you if you're good enough to go there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's quite a few places where you can go and get booked and make money and actually do stuff in this business if you're good enough to do it and put in the time. And it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of us who sit out there and like you just rest on your laurels and go, well, I'm satisfied just doing indie stuff and all that, and you're not putting in the time or the work to get to the next level because your heart's not in it really.
And if you're cool with that, like if that's your thing, like that's fine. But like if you're young into the business and I talk like I have some right to talk, but if you're young in this business and want to go farther instead of just staying in the same couple shows, all the time, and working maybe once a month, like if you want to go farther than that, you've got to promote yourself. You've got to put yourself out there and be willing to travel, because there's a lot of traveling involved.
I kick myself in the butt all the time for not putting in the effort when I was young doing this business. Dude, why didn't you hit the gym? I mean, really make the effort to do something. But that's the trade-off, right? I mean, most people aren't going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll wish they could, and they should, and it's all about the effort you put into it. But the fact is, most just aren't going to do it.
Yeah, and I've been lucky enough to be able to be in a position where I'm able to travel and do these things. Some people aren't, and that's that's fine. But if you're able to, I would strongly suggest you doing that.
Oh yeah, and I mean that's especially if you have the ability to do it.
Right.
I mean, you got to shoot your shot at some point and say, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for it. See what happens. Let's see what happens.
Yep.
A lot of guys aren't willing to do that. They're not willing to go and just say, all right, here it is.
If you never try, you'll never know.
No, you won't. There's a lot of that. I mean, there's a crap ton of that. So we were talking earlier about this whole Nikki Ash situation.
Oh yeah.
It's not really a situation, but
It's not
we're
Nikki Cross,
dead wrong.
Nikki Ash.
We were dead wrong. The next night after she wins, she cashes in her Money in the Bank, takes out Charlotte Flair.
Yeah. New Raw Women's Champion, Nikki Ash.
I'll tell you what.
For a gimmick that she thought of, I guess it's been 3.5 months, something like that. Like she came up with that gimmick all on her own, and it flourished. Like the boss man was cool with it, and now look at what it's done. That's sticking your neck out.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
That's sticking your neck out to go with this type of character, and within a 3-month time span, she's farther than anything that Nikki Cross ever was. And Nikki Cross was good. I enjoyed Nikki Cross.
Yeah, I love the Nikki Cross character.
But now Nikki Ash is the new Raw Women's Champion, so I guess we'll see something on Raw tonight. We'll see something out of her on Raw tonight,
yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure Charlotte will have something to say. So we'll see where that goes. Still waiting on a Becky Lynch return. Still waiting on that.
We'll get there.
So, but yeah.
I'm not a fan of the Summer of Cena.
Well, if you're not a fan of Summer of Cena, you've also got Summer of Goldberg. So there you go. Goldberg against Lashley at SummerSlam. That's where we're going on the wrong side.
But here's the thing. It popped hard for Goldberg. Popped hard for Cena.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can't take that away from him.
I would much
as
rather
I
see.
do not care for it.
I would much
can't
rather
take it
see
away.
Cena than Goldberg.
I would much rather not see them both.
not see either one of them.
Let's be real. I don't want to see any of it.
Cena's
there it
fine.
is.
Cena's fine. Goldberg has run his course, but money is money, and that's where Goldberg's at. So
I can't.
So we'll probably see Bobby Lashley get squashed at SummerSlam by Goldberg, and then Goldberg will lose it to, I don't know, Dominic Mysterio. No. Dominic's not on Raw. Who's on Raw that will beat Goldberg?
I don't know.
Hey, put it on. Let Xavier Woods beat Goldberg. Xavier's good. I like Xavier.
But he's a face.
Yeah.
Face.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen. Dang. Not gonna happen. Telling you, there's a lot of that I don't want to hear. I don't want to see, but it's coming. Like the Cena thing, I don't care for it. I don't want to see it. I was never a fan of his title runs anyway. And just the thing of making him a 16, 17-time champion is blah.
Is it going to happen?
Because you can say all you want to that, well, him and Ric Flair, nah, dude, you can't mention them in the same sentence. It's not even close. It's like you look at the list of names, legends that Ric Flair won that title against. And even lost it versus Cena. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
The scale is completely different. And just because you're saying that, just because some 5-year-old goes, but John Cena got the between of them. He got the between of them. No, dude, I don't think so. It ain't the same.
Cena got over
I think
because
WWE do it.
he figured out how to sell merch. And
well, that's all you got to do.
He sold his product, and his
sell it to
product
the
got
children.
over. And that, I mean, it works. It works, and it's still working.
Yeah, there's
when was
no
that?
question.
When did Cena come into WWE? 2002, 2003, 2004, maybe something like that. And so 17 years later,
Dude, when I see
still
22-year-old men go, that's Cena, that's my champion, I can't. It drives me up a freaking wall.
marks.
Oh my God, bugs the crap out of me. Oh, it drives me crazy. You saw this and that's what you. I swear you saw that in the crowd the other night. His music popped, and out he comes, and those little 22-year-old dudes, whatever. Oh, that's my hero. I still got my green towel, my orange one, and my purple one. Oh,
Have you seen the video of Michael Cole and Pat McAfee when Cena came out at Money in the Bank?
no.
Have you seen that video? And it's just showing the announce table, but it's playing the music as soon as Cena's music hits. Man, both of them start jumping up and down and just in excitement, and you can still hear the commentary over the video. And I was like, okay, like I got chills watching it. Like it was cool. It's a cool moment.
Well, Pat McAfee was talking about it, how cool it was.
Yeah, because McAfee's a big fan. But
Yeah?
McAfee said on his show, he was like, I got to go with Roman on this one. And Cole was going for Cena because they've been through so much together. And Cole's pretty much called a lot of Cena's matches throughout his WWE career.
No doubt.
And so, but Pat's like, Cena doesn't have a chance here. Like, the big dog is winning this one.
That's the thing too, man. I don't know, but he sure agreed to the Prince's challenge the other night.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
By the way,
We'll see what comes out of Finn Balor against Roman Reigns.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I think so too. And
I think it'll be really good.
That's the way that's how they're reintroducing Finn Balor to the main roster after his stint in NXT. So
Here we go. Hey, Dustin, you are on Undefined Radio and Bottle Car Booking. How's it going, buddy?
It's going great. How are you guys doing?
Man, we are doing good. Great to have you on the show.
Well, man, thanks for having me. I think we've been talking about it for a minute, so we finally got the time and everything. So
yeah,
I can talk wrestling anytime, any place.
Well, dude, first of all, congratulations on the success of Memphis Championship Wrestling. I know it's been a long road coming. What took you down this road? How did this come about?
Well, I mean, it just all depends on which exact part. So many things have happened. I mean, just growing up in Memphis and loving Memphis wrestling and going to Mid-South Coliseum on Monday nights and, going to TV5 or whatever studio on Saturdays and training and just kind of growing up in the business because I got in and started training when I was 15. So a lot of the stuff that I've, picked up and learned along the way, even if it was just through osmosis, just being there and learning something new. I never knew that, 25 years later or whatever, that I would be running a television show and a wrestling company. But it's pretty cool, man. Yeah, it's been a long journey and a lot of spokes to that story, but it all leads right here to Championship Wrestling from Memphis.
Well, it's been so interesting to see that journey too, and not only that, but to see a lot of the guys y'all have brought in up there to be on Memphis Championship Wrestling, and there's a lot of good dudes. Y'all ventured out to Hollywood. You've been out there as part of that with Championship Wrestling. Tell us about that experience.
Well, that was cool. David Marquez has the United Wrestling Network, and if I was going to compare, explain easily what it is I would say it's kind of similar to what the NWA was, where you have this governing, sanctioning body, and then you have these other territories underneath it. So you've got Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, Championship Wrestling from Memphis, Championship Wrestling from Atlanta, I believe, launches in September of this year, so it's right around the corner. I'll be working on that project. And also they're trying to launch Championship Wrestling from the Sunshine State. And so the United Wrestling Network has been going over 10 years, and a lot of the faces that you see on AEW and WWE and NXT came through the United Wrestling Network. As recently as MJF, Scorpio Sky, the Bucks, Luchasaurus. Gosh, man, the names go on and on. Peter Avalon, even some of the broadcasters, Johnny Quasto, Alyssa Marino, they've all been signed through the United Wrestling Network. So it's really cool. And right now, Hollywood is actually not producing new television programming because they're moving to a new casino, a new location, which is really exciting. But that's kind of put Championship Wrestling from Memphis at the forefront because we're producing new content. We've got live crowds, and man, we're packing out the Wrestle Center and bringing in some stars that haven't been here ever or not in a really long time. So the spotlight's on us, and especially the women's division with everything that's been going on here lately, and not really having a women's division for all those years in Memphis wrestling. I think I answered your question, but in a long-winded way, there's just so much going on and so much excitement here with the program. You can see that my voice, I've almost lost my voice. We had 3 hours of TV yesterday, and man, it was just, I get fired up. It's not even something that's scripted, and you're reacting and trying to get that excitement across to the TV crowd. So I've almost lost my voice today.
Well, I think it's funny you say that because that really is the fun part of it, and the fun part of what you guys are doing down there, and the excitement of seeing y'all have grown so much since day one when you premiered, and you have your own building now. And how is that experience going from where y'all were to start to where you are right now?
Put us on a whole nother level.
Yep, I agree.
It literally put us on a whole different level, and this was the plan all along, and it just was. This was the plan ever since day one when we started working with the syndicated Championship Wrestling from Hollywood and hosting it locally here and calling it Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingo. We never said it was Memphis Wrestling until it was Memphis Wrestling. And so, of course, the pandemic slowed us down just a bit, but then we picked back up and it was like, all right, man, let's do this thing. And we started at a location that you guys are familiar with. It was not the most aesthetically appealing location or spot to film TV. We know that, but it really did help us get our feet off the ground. It launched our promotion, and then we knew we're on to something because people were coming. People were buying tickets. And then that kind of catapulted us into a whole different, I think it put us in a whole nother level because we can do so many different things.
No, I agree with you. And I'm such a fan of people who are willing to go for it. And who are willing to take that chance and start somewhere, regardless of what anybody else says. They're willing to say, I believe in my product. I believe in what we're doing. You guys just watching, y'all are doing that. It's so refreshing to see that, especially back in this area.
Oh, man, I appreciate it, man. I got to shout out to the posse. Simon and Lil Chris. They literally helped put that entire building together. My good buddy Jason, who's not even in the business, he's security Jason. You see him, you see him on the program. He's probably the worst security guard we got because all the bad stuff happens when he's on location there, you know.
There you go.
But he loves being a part of it, man. He just really does. So he's helped out a lot in the building. And King Cobra, the Memphis wrestling legend, I cannot say enough good things about him. He's an entrepreneur. He's an inventor. He's a fantastic guy, and he's one of the guys that everybody should look up to. Like, he cares about the future of Memphis wrestling. That's why he has such a big part, not only in the show, but in our training facility, which I'm headed out right now. We've got class tonight. Alan Steele, Derek King, they're our head trainers, along with King Cobra. We've got some really good students. So that's a whole other part of this, a whole different thing that's not talked about a whole lot. But here on the show recently, we've seen the inside of the Wrestle Center and King Cobra training some guys and stuff. So hopefully we'll show some more of that coming up on the program too.
Well, I really loved that. Was one of the things it really touched a nerve in such a good way when King Cobra was part of it, because it's easy to bring in Lawler and Dundee and some of these guys who we know, and we all know these guys are part of this rich Memphis heritage, but King Cobra, who I always felt just didn't quite get his just due, that this dude is his love for the business and what he does. It was so great seeing that to make him a staple of what you guys have done, man. It was.
I agree 100% with you, man. I agree 1,000,000%. I don't feel like King Cobra got the accolades and all the fanfare and everything that the other guys got. Was it because he didn't go full time? Maybe. But there was a reason he didn't. He was successful in a whole different career, and he became world champion here. And it was supposed to be a bigger. I feel like it should be a bigger deal. It should be celebrated. So on our show, man, we have a world champion, a legend. And there's a whole lot of stuff, behind that. First ever African American world champion in Memphis, pinned the King at the Coliseum in December of '89. I mean, it's huge. The lineage is great. There were some very controversial moments on Memphis wrestling that involved Lawler and King Cobra, and so there's a lot that can be learned through some of those segments back in the day. And so we're booking it a little bit differently. And Cobra's our guy, man. He's our legend.
Dude, I love it. I love what y'all done. And look, y'all got these new sweet shirts, these We Are Memphis Wrestling shirts.
Yes.
2 Count sitting over here showing his off.
I'm representing, man.
Yes, sir. 2.
2. That's me,
yeah,
man.
So, well, we started on 4th of July. We had a This Is Memphis Wrestling, and everybody posted up their graphics. We made a ton of graphics for everybody just to get it out there. Hey, man, this is who we are. And then now we are Memphis Wrestling. We are. I mean, it doesn't get any more Memphis than this. I mean, we've got Teddy Long coming in on August 7th. You can drink beer and eat pizza with Cowboy Jam Storm on the night of the 7th. Those tickets are available at championshipwrestlingmemphis.com. That's a Saturday night. It's a special. Teddy Long making the matches. Anything can happen. And then on the 14th, we're out at Newport Monster Nights. That's a free event because we're out on Tubetown Television at Ritter Communications out in the Jonesboro area. So that's a new area that we picked up along with Missouri. And then on the 15th, the very next day at the Wrestle Center, we have Wolfie D coming back to Memphis Wrestling. Or should I say Wolfie D is coming home to Memphis Wrestling.
Well, that's a name we hadn't heard of in a while.
Do you have any runs with him, Storm?
Huh?
Do you have any runs with him? No.
What did he say?
Hell, he was asking me if I ever had any runs with Wolfie. I'm like, no, I never I got to hook up with him.
Wolfie is oh my gosh, I don't even know what to expect with Wolfie. But that's the stuff, man. That's the stuff. We had Tiger Joe in. You'll see that coming up on the show. And Jerry Jarrett, Dave Brown, Pete Pranica, the voice of the Grizzlies. Just a little bit of something for everybody, for a Memphian, and to come out and to meet some of these folks. So it's a lot of fun.
Well,
a lot of good stuff coming up, guys.
Dustin, I love it. I'm proud of what you guys have done. Before we let you go and get out of here, I got to say, you become kind of the... I don't want to put this over too hard, and I'm certainly not trying to stroke your ego or any of that, but you really become a voice of Memphis. We see with the Grizzlies and the things that you've done, it's been so great to see that. How has that experience been for you? Because I remember when you were just getting into the business and working in these small towns, and where you were then and where you've gone to now. What is that like for you now?
Well, I'd like to go back to all the small towns. Like, we were in Tupelo for the first time in 2 years, and that's not really a small town, but like doing these other shows, there's a lot of wrestling fans that have watched and supported and cheered or booed, since I was 15 years old, man. So it's really cool to go out and see those folks. But being able to do the other sports, I always had blinders on. You know, I wanted to be a pro wrestler. That was it. And so once I went to the WWE developmental and came back, these other opportunities came up, and I was like, hey, man, let me try that. And so I did it. Like, I never thought that I was a voice guy. That's the last thing I ever thought I would be doing is ring announcing or PA or, you know, hello, everybody. I just didn't. I don't feel like that's me. Like Terrence Ward, I'm a huge fan of Terrence Ward's voice.
Yep.
Give me Terrence Ward's voice over my voice any day, all right? But you know what? It's fun, and I'll continue to do it for as long as those franchises will continue to have me. And I juggle it all because I like to do it, and they love the wrestling stuff. So every time I'm at AutoZone Park for a Redbirds game or a FedEx Forum for a Grizzlies game, somebody asks me about wrestling, or if Van Vicious is going to beat me up or something, you know?
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
Fun. One kid yelled at me at the AutoZone Park the other day at the Redbirds game, Van Vicious is going to torture wreck you. And it's, no, he can't. So it's fun.
Well, Dustin, we appreciate your time. I know you're busy, and thank you for taking a few minutes of your time tonight to come on the show. We wish you all the best in Championship Wrestling. You're always welcome here. Just keep in contact with us. Let us know what's coming. I'm sure 2 Count will.
Yeah,
Trust
you
me.
know.
Oh, absolutely.
He's got pillowcases made with your face on it.
Oh.
You don't want to know all the
No.
stuff he's got in
Oh,
his
my
home.
gosh.
It's embarrassing.
I'll tell you what, if you guys want to give away a pair of tickets for August 7th, that's Teddy Long and Cowboy James Storm. They're both going to be there. If you want to give away a pair of tickets on social media or wherever you'd like, those are on me. So give them to your fans.
Dustin, we appreciate that. We will certainly do that. Thank you so much, and thank you for all you do. And tell Maria, thanks for watching that baby so you could come on the show tonight. We appreciate that.
I had bath time. That's why I said 6:15.
No, that's great, bro. We really appreciate it, though. You have a great evening, man.
You too. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Dustin.
Dustin Starr right there, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, man.
Love talking to these guys. Oh, God, I got to turn my volume down, getting too loud here. Sorry about that.
Getting loud.
Smoked it up. Blowing out the speakers right now. Tell you, got to get a new board. No, that was great. Great talking to Dustin, hearing from him about Memphis Championship Wrestling, and I'm telling you,
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
I think, and like he was talking about, I didn't think about that with Championship Wrestling from Hollywood not filming any new content right now. The past couple weeks they've been releasing like a best of series, because they're doing this new build and transition deal. So yeah, for Dustin to say, the spotlight's kind of on Championship Wrestling from Memphis at this point in time, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it really is.
And I hadn't talked about it a lot on this show just because for different reasons, but to just be a part of that and to really be a part of history, something that is legit history, in Memphis, has been a big blessing and just opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I mean, you tell 10-year-old me sitting in the living room watching Memphis wrestling on Saturday morning from Channel 5 Studios or whatever, that in a couple years that's you'll be on TV doing Memphis wrestling too.
Sure.
He never would have thought. And what Dustin and Alan Steele and Austin Lane and Neil Taylor and King Cobra, what the posse, like he was talking about, Lil Chris and Simon, what they have done. And there's so many other people that are involved in this that may not ever get recognition for it, but it's cool, like we were talking about earlier with people getting butt hurt pretty much for things going on. Like, this is cool because it's guys coming from different areas to make one thing happen, and to see it go and excel and just keep building, and the brand building and growing, and to see that and to be a part of it, man, it's just it's cool. It's cool and it's humbling, and I can't thank Dustin and those guys enough for letting me be a part of it. So it's cool to have him on.
It was awesome. Hopefully we'll hear from him again. I mean, it's great. And shout out to him for allowing us to give away 2 free tickets.
Yeah,
We will be
hooking
doing
up
that
those tickets.
We will be putting up probably on bottom card booking.
Yeah.
Will be where the giveaway is going to be at, I think, on Facebook. So we'll get that out tomorrow. We're going to get ready because you have to do certain things to be in the drawing for these tickets.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Give those suckers away so you can attend Memphis Championship Wrestling. It's going to be fun. That'll be for the August 7th show.
August 7th, yep.
Get ready.
Teddy Long is coming in.
That's
so,
right.
you know, he loves tag team matches and he loves The Undertaker.
That's right.
So, but, I mean, Undertaker, we know where he is. But James Storm, the Cowboy James Storm will be there. So, hey, another big night for Memphis. And it's not a televised event, obviously.
Nope.
It's on a Saturday night.
That's right.
But it's, and they've done some things with the first Saturday night wrestling show that they had. So they put it on YouTube, I think, or put the matches on YouTube. So big night there for Memphis wrestling too.
That's right. Gonna be a lot of fun. Guys, gals, we're out of time for this week's show. We appreciate the hour went by pretty quickly.
It did. Went by super quick.
Again, thanks to Dustin for coming on the show tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. And hey, Randy couldn't be here, but hopefully he'll be back with us next Monday night.
Yep.
I know he's been out of town doing his rodeo stuff.
Yeah, man.
Getting all cowboyed up.
He's a real nation traveler.
That's right. He is.
Traveling the nation. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned next week. Remember, Johnny Pace in the Morning live, 6 to 8 a.m. right here on UndefinedRadio.com and the free Undefined Radio app. All you got to do is go to your iTunes App Store, Google Play Store, wherever you can pick up an app. Undefined Radio is there. And get ready. High school football is coming to Undefined Radio. That, so much more. Go to Undefined Radio on Facebook. Like and share that page. Follow us. You'll get notified every time we go live. Lots of great content coming this fall. Be ready for it because we're only growing from here. Appreciate you guys. See you next week.
It's